All right, Britney has been going off on her Instagram and I am still banned on my main. So guess what? It's just gonna have to come over here now because there's just too much to share and I can't keep up with all of it. So first, let's start off with this post from a few days ago where in her caption she says, "Fuck it, what's in my mouth?" She has an Alice in Wonderland book and she's always referencing Alice in Wonderland in her posts, which should tell us a lot about pretty much what she's thinking, how she's feeling, clues she's trying to give us. Okay, she posted this and I'm pretty sure it was deleted right away. And she quoted Psalms 31:3, which if you read the whole thing, she's giving us a lot of clues, but I do not have time to go over that whole verse or chapter, so look it up. But she says, 15 years of never being able to say where I want to place my feet. Now remember in the last one, she also mentioned her feet and her head. The feet and the head connect us to source. The feet connect us to Mama Gaia, the earth, and our crown chakra connects us to source. Then I was put in a motherfucking chair for 4 months and forgot how to say my own name. A year later now and I can finally lead and have a motherfucking name. It's been 15 years, boys and girls. All this time. Lead for your namesake. I will lead every motherfucking single one of you. Okay, I don't know exactly. I haven't been able to decode this. I've had a lot of shit going on. But clearly she's trying to say something that she forgot her name. And now she's saying lead for your namesake. Okay, you guys know that I think that she's been cloned, right? This is from her Twitter a few days ago. Remember, I made a video about this and we talked about smooth, calm, quiet, cool. And I said this has to be a code of some sort because like, why did she include this in here? So somebody said, well, look up what SCQC is. So SCQC is a tool for quality control of single cell RNA data sets. I'm like, okay, this RNA, doesn't that kind of sound like DNA? Does this have to do with cloning? What does single cell RNA sequence do? The single cell RNA sequence provides transcriptional profiling of thousands of individual cells. This level of throughput analysis enables researchers to understand at the single cell level what genes are expressed in what quantities and how they differ across thousands of cells with a heterogeneous sample. So it sounds like cloning, right? So then I find this, genome biology, clone-aligned, statistical integration of independent single cell RNA and DNA sequencing data from human cancers. Now, this is an article about cancer and how they were able to use all this shit to, I don't know, something with cancer, okay? But the point is that it all has to do with cloning. And this is another post that she deleted. One of the keys to happiness is a bad memory. And she has said this on the red carpet in interviews. She says the key to happiness is a bad memory. She doesn't remember anything. Well, she didn't used to remember anything. But now I feel like she does remember, and that's why she's trying to get the word out to us. So in it, she says, for 13 years, I had to meet doctors weekly to bring up my past, which made it worse. As for my whole family, including my brother, sister, cousins, aunts, uncles, and well, damn, the whole audience, were either stoned or drunk off their asses. I was the motherfucking saint who was scared to move, or I knew that my dad would put me somewhere if I didn't cooperate. Even in America, the land of the free. Years go by and he still puts me in a psych ward. This is the first time she didn't say that place or rehab. She said a psych ward. Not one motherfucking person stood up for me. Mom, take your apology and go fuck yourself. Oh yeah, her mom apologized online. I don't have a screenshot of that because fuck that bitch. And to all the doctors for fucking with my mind, I pray you all burn in hell. Now, she had said that she just wanted an apology from everyone, and so people are bashing her for being like, why are you telling your mom to go fuck herself after she apologized? Isn't that what you wanted? Okay, Britney's not dumb. Okay, she knows what's happening and she knows that that's not a genuine apology from her mom. Her mom was an accomplice to everything, and Britney was very, very hurt by her mom's actions because Britney and her mom were very, very close. She was never close to her dad because her dad SA'd her, but she was close to her mom. And so for her mom to be a part of this whole conservatorship, and even if she wasn't actively involved, she was sitting idly by, she's very hurt by that. So then she posted this. It was a scene from Monster-in-Law with Jennifer Lopez. And it was when the mom-in-law was slapping J-Lo and J-Lo was slapping her back and forth. So Britney wrote, I swear I've never slapped anyone my whole life. I would give anything to see what that feels like, just saying. The first time I ever got slapped was one night. Paris and Lindsay dropped me off at my beach house with my babies. Kevin left me at that point, so I had a small beach house and my mother was watching Jaden and Preston. Yes, I partied till 4 a.m. and my mother was pissed. I walked in, she looked at me and slapped me so hard that I will never forget it. Since then, I have always wondered what it must feel like to slap someone. Guess I'll never know. Stay classy, folks. This was all 15 years ago. I mean, we've all grown up since then. Shade. Now, I just want to talk about this account real quick. It's If You Seek Truth on Instagram. And they have this on the story, where in the world is Britney Spears? Her Thousand Oaks mansion was sold by her business manager, and the new $11 million mansion was officially closed after the wedding without Britney's consent. So already, Sam has a large stake, and Britney would otherwise be homeless if she does not go along with this. This is the second time their followers told them that the houses look empty. They have been showing Britney in Mexico recently.
Hi, so it's been a really long time since I've spoken to you guys. It's been just 8 months since my conservatorship of 15 years has been over, and I'm in Mexico right now, and it's really hot and it's raining, and joy to you all.
Relax, okay?
Hello, Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber from Brazil.
Hello, Justin.
Okay, I'm sorry, but that sounded nothing like Britney. Also, I want to point out that she said it's been 8 months since her conservatorship ended. Interesting, because it's been almost a year. In November, it'll be 12 months. So obviously, this is an old clip. And honestly, I don't even know if it was really her. Right before this, she posted a clip of her on the beach with her hair short. And she said, I cut my hair. I'm not ready to show it yet. Which is the day that she sent out all those tweets about her hair when I was making all those videos. I also want to point out, obviously, I had to cover up what was going on because they were just in her birthday suit, okay? It just seems like her team is posting these pictures to make her look crazy every time she posts something about exposing them. Now, I also want to point out the fact that she has bruises on her neck, and I don't think anybody noticed that. She has bruising on her neck, and you can see it right here a little better, okay? I also want to point out her nose shape from that angle, because this is an old picture of her, and as you can see, her nose looks nothing like that. Also, I want to point out in this picture, it looks like she's wearing contacts. And why is her eye like not a full circle right here? It goes slanted up. And I believe that this is already when they started the Britney clones. Also, this is from 2009, and it says Britney Jean Spears deceased. Why are there records of her already being dead if she's still alive? This is a blind item that says this permanent A-list singer wants to start an OF, but make it free for everyone. Oh, and she's hooking up with 2 other people who are not her husband. One has signed an NDA, but the other one has not, and is trying to sell tips and stories to tabloids. I don't know about you, but this sounds a lot like trafficking, okay? Because I sure as hell know that Miss Britney Spears is not trying to do this shit, okay? I just know it. Now here she posted a rose on the side of her picture, which I've talked about, Operation Rose, which has to do with stopping trafficking. I also want to point out the size of her cleavage. I'm trying to cover up as much as I can. But you see, it's pretty big, right? But this is another one of her, and she has nothing, okay? Completely flat-chested. This just doesn't add up, okay? It seems like there are multiple Britney clones that are just hanging around for the public, and the real one is hidden somewhere. Now, I say the real one because I do believe at least one of the Britney clones has gained consciousness, and she is the one that is trying to communicate with us through all the posts. Team Conservatorship, T-Con, which I learned after posting that video where I was like, I don't know what T-Con is trying to make her look crazy, and they have access to her Instagram. So she has access to her Instagram and socials, so she will post stuff, but they will go behind her back and delete stuff and make her look crazy and post, you know, pictures in her birthday suit. She also posted this on July 15th where she's clearly trying to escape, and she said finding a window. She also has a video where she said that her favorite movie is Frozen because one of the sisters goes off to a castle because she just can't take it anymore. But I think it was code for I am trapped, help me. I'll have to make another part to cover her Instagram posts from today. Okay, wait, so before I start telling you about the post from today, this is the post where she said, I cut all my hair off, I don't want to show it yet. And this is where all the pictures in the birthday suit started coming out with the bruising on the neck. But then in Mexico, her hair was long, which was literally the next day. And here comes Khloe Kardashian's hairstylist saying, it's Britney, bitch, Britney's hair done by me. So now we have Khloe Kardashian's hairstylist jumping on the fucking lie because Britney has been talking about Khloe for a hot minute and her hair. And you guys know I made the whole connection to Britney and Kanye and all that. Watch the other videos to get that reference. But how are you going to tell me that Britney had just tweeted that she was in London the day before she posted the picture of her hair short, and then she's apparently now on this beach in Maui, and then now she's in Mexico, all in the span of 3 days? Physically impossible. It's physically impossible. The team can't even keep up with the lies. You know what? While we're at it, let's talk about Khloe's hand, because what the fuck is going on here, Khloe? It's looking a little animalistic like not human-like. But someone did point out that it looks like witches' hands, and I wouldn't be surprised because I'm pretty sure the whole Kardashian family is full of witches and not the good kind. I also wanted to point out that Britney posted this photo right after I posted this photo on one of my videos. And I was like, what the fuck? Is Britney watching my stuff? Because the coincidences, there are just too many of them. It seems like every time I talk about something, she's referencing it on one of her posts. Okay, now let's finally talk about today's posts. So first of all, they start backwards. So the latest post is the first one, and then you gotta read down, not in the order they were posted. So she goes, I wonder what the secret is. What are y'all hiding behind? Come on, wise father. You sit with me down for 4 months to expose my body to nurses while showering me like a fucking dog. Bullying me with their questions, never able to put it on them and ask them questions. Come on, father. You want to sit your granddaughters, Maddie and Ivy, in a chair 10 hours a day, having people fuck with their head for 4 months? Big security at my door. No, ma'am, you can't leave. We don't know when you can go. I did nothing wrong. Why did you and the family go along with it and treat me like a fucking dog? What makes you so goddamn special? What makes your other daughters so goddamn special that you treated me less than a fucking dog? Every morning I wake up and every night before I go to sleep, I pray to fucking God, you just get 5 minutes of the pain that I felt in that place for 4 months. I pray you burn in hell, you sorry son of a bitch. I don't know about you, but this sounds like Britney is very coherent and knows how to express herself completely fine, and it makes complete sense here. So it doesn't add up with the other posts that make absolutely no sense. So here she talks about how, yeah, they were fucking with her head for 4 months. Again, I believe this is all the MK Ultra stuff. And she's calling out what makes Jamie Lynn so special? What makes your granddaughter so special? Why don't they get treated like this? The truth is that, Britney, you're special. So they are literally trying to drain you dry because you are so special, and they're trying to take your energy. So then she started posting individual posts of all her thoughts like she usually does. I've always wondered how pretty people think. I used to feel pretty, therefore I was calm, content, not trying. And then I felt like a hot, wild mess. And I felt so alive in my wild days. It was hot. That was probably a little nod to Paris Hilton. But then in my conservatorship, I felt absolutely nothing. I was sad. I had no say in my looks and photo shoots. I had to follow the guidelines. No being a sassy pants and no speaking up. I will say it until the day I fucking die. My family ruined my fucking family. I would go to London to promote my clothing line and my boyfriend couldn't even come with me. But my mom and dad stayed in my room together when I was there in London. They treated me like a fucking dog. Yup, and don't get me started on that place they sent me to. Sorry, I will never get over it. Anyways, the way they made me feel, my dad always told me that I was fat. So I never felt pretty or good enough. And I think the thing that made me feel the ugliest was the fear in being scared of what he would do. I looked uneasy, unattractive, not in my skin. I never felt like I did when I was 17 and had a secret boyfriend. He was never a father to me because he was always drunk. The reason I'm talking about this is because I know I present myself as being perfect and pretty, and it's because I know what it feels like to feel ugly and scared. To be told there is no looking at that face of yours. You should read the book The Uglies. It's hot. That play, Wicked, is life-changing. I cried so much when I saw it. Glenda, the good witch, with Bubbles was brilliant. But the girl that nobody liked, everyone laughed at her and made fun of her. Then the best part of the whole play, silence. You could hear a needle drop, and in that moment of silence, I was 30 feet away from her in the audience, but I felt her more than anything I had ever felt in my life. Tears, tears, tears. I cried. I felt her. Not in an, oh, I feel bad for her kind of way, but deeper than that. I was genuinely touched by her. She spiritually went through all my flesh, bones, and blood and awakened my heart. They painted her an ugly green face, but she was beautiful. It's a shame men care about looks. Come on, we all know it. It's the truth, but to me, I'm working on how I feel inside. My posture, body language, my breathing. When it's time to speak, when it's time to listen, or when it's time to roar. I hope one day I can find my essence of feeling beautiful. My father did an extensive job at always making me feel otherwise. He would go low. He was the lowest. I used to have 2 girls dancing with me in every show I did. When my dad came along, I had 8 girl dancers. I was always in white and they were in black. Great entertainment eye candy for all the men I dated, but that's not the low part. He told me my boyfriend's body was perfect and I needed to work on myself because I wasn't fit. What father tells her daughter that her boyfriend has a perfect body? And I have a lot of work to do? I mean, yeah, his body was way better than mine. I knew that. But I didn't think I looked that bad. Always. My family made me feel like I wasn't good enough. Or I will just say, like, they're better than me. My boyfriend and sister going out to cute places drinking coffee when I couldn't for 2 years. What made them so goddamn special? Do other people secretly like feeling better than any other person? Why? What goes through someone's mind to be hateful? Why? I mean, I'm mean to myself, but I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. And if you watch my recent YouTube video, you know that I feel exactly how Britney feels. I don't understand what humanity's problem is with wanting to be hateful to others, to hurt others, to bring others down. But I understand that hurt people hurt people. And so if you are hurt, then you want to hurt everyone and bring everyone else around you down because it makes you feel superior. So that's what they were doing to Britney. Anyways, of course I share this pretty picture today because I needed to see it. I've been scared, hurt, and have felt extremely alone. I saw this picture and said, wow, how did I used to think when I was pretty? Do pretty people think differently? How do I feel when I woke up in the morning? Would men respect me more if I felt pretty like that again? And also, do some men feed on making the person they love feel like absolutely nothing and ugly? Yes, they do, Britney. Yes, because they have nothing inside. So they want to suck your soul dry. Women who dream the highest will unfortunately always learn the greed and envy of men. Anyways, ladies, feel beautiful today. Love you. Listen, Britney had to get that out. And I'm with you, girl. I feel like this is on a collective level. This is why I say that Britney is a starseed, because she is feeling what the collective is feeling. I know that a lot of us have been feeling down and feel like the underdog and like we can never get on top. And look at Britney, who seemingly has everything she wants, and yet she has nothing because everyone around her has beaten her down so much and made her feel worthless and ugly. Because words do matter. And this is why TikTok is so toxic. This is why these social media apps are so toxic. Because if you haven't watched The Social Dilemma on Netflix, it talks about how literally Facebook was planning on creating bots to just be hateful, to start drama so that it would bring the vibrations down of other people, of the real people who are not bots or NPCs. And so that is exactly what is happening now with TikTok. That is why you see so much hate on this app. That is why Britney sees all the hate comments that she gets, because that is what is being pushed. The negative entities, the negative energy is just growing more and more and more. And no one wants to fucking accept the fact that this is what's happening and that we need to come together as a society, as humanity, to be better people. We need to grow the fuck up as a collective. We need to look in the mirror and take accountability for our actions and stop putting the blame on others. Yes, people have hurt us. What Britney is going through is real. What we have gone through is real. But it is time to heal ourselves so that we don't hurt other people in the process. Just because people hurt us does not mean that we have to hurt others. Now, people are always asking me, how can Britney be a clone? What do you mean? Can you explain cloning? What do you mean that she is a clone? And where's the real Britney? Now, I believe that the real Britney died in 2001 in that car accident. But according to these papers, Britney Jean Spears deceased in 2009. Yet she's still alive. Now, I do think that she did die in 2001 in that car accident, and that's when the clones started coming out. But I think that they had to legally proclaim her as deceased so that they could be in charge of all of her finances. So when it comes to cloning, you are not considered a human being if your soul is not in your body, if your consciousness is not in your body. So they pronounced her deceased because they were just using her clones, and now they own her property. Everything, her name, they own it. They is team conservatorship. Everyone that put her in this conservatorship. They own her rights to everything. They own all her money. They own her homes. They own everything. She is a brand. She is not a person. Now, when I say that Britney was cloned, I covered a little bit of this in another few a few videos back, where she hinted at these abbreviations, and then I looked it up, and it has to do with RNA sequencing, which has to do with cells and cloning. Go watch the other video. But now I will show you a clip of how cloning works and what is the difference between a clone who has no soul or consciousness and a clone who does, and why they are considered human.
Do you elaborate on that and your experience with clones, Randy and Tim?
Sure. Clone is basically just a copy. It's essentially a soulless copy of a person. My understanding is that there is a requirement that is the tiniest fraction of that person's soul that has to be attached to the physical body so that the cells duplicate beyond 32 or 64 or what it is. So there's a limitation. They won't grow past that if there isn't some piece of a soul in there. But because it's just a teeny little sliver, they don't really have one. And so they're not considered a person. They're not legally considered a person because they're not a soul inside them. So they tend to be not very bright. They tend to be very undisciplined. They tend to be very difficult to train if you're trying to train a clone to actually fight. That's why we ended up abandoning clone armies, because they're a horrible idea. But a clone is basically just a copy. Now, if in my case, this is not my original body has been destroyed, and because it was beat up and bruised and old so many times that they had to give me a young one and put me back. So this is a clone body, but I'm not a clone because as soon as they put my soul into the body, it's now a person. It's now legally a person, and it's me, and I'm no longer considered a clone, even though the body is a clone body. So for something to be considered a clone, it has to have no soul or consciousness in it. If you take a clone and you put somebody in it, all of a sudden it's now classified as a person, and it's no longer a clone.
Okay, we've got a couple things to talk about. First of all, I was tagged on Twitter. It was posted on October 12th, 2022. Somebody caught this. I mean, how is this real? And doesn't it look like it's a screen? Like it's like we don't really live in a real reality. It's like a holographic reality. Like, what the fuck? Also, I love that someone drew a whale on it because they thought it looked like a whale. The whale represents the collective. So you guys know I have a theory that the moon represents the collective consciousness. Well, the whale really does represent the collective as a whole. So the fact that this person saw a whale with the rainbow coming out, it makes sense, because I do believe that the collective is on the same vibration and frequency and all getting very similar downloads and dreams. And I don't know how much longer we're going to be in this old earth. I'm just saying a lot of you are coming to me with your dreams and visions and downloads, and y'all are getting the same feeling as I'm feeling, as Book of Jonah is feeling, as a lot of people are feeling, that we cannot see past 2022. We can't see past December. So now I want to point out that this is Britney's Twitter cover photo. I don't find this a coincidence at all. I don't find this a coincidence that Britney is part of the system. It has been MK Ultra'd. There is a theory going around that she is actually Marilyn Monroe's clone. And I agree with that, because I do feel like Britney and Marilyn literally are the same person. I have always said that Britney and Marilyn are connected. Now, the story is that they are ninth cousins. Like, Britney is Marilyn's ninth cousin. I mean, obviously they're gonna say that because they needed something if people started catching on. But yes, I do believe that Britney could be Marilyn's clone, because let me just show you a video on how long cloning has been going on. This is nothing new.
The Illuminati knows the answers, taking bone samples to clone rappers. But the artists in prison to silence their vision, genetic copies going home after. They look different, eyes shifted, smile missing, skin lifted. It's scientific. If they can't control you, they erase the old. You get your duplication to enforce the message. They clone Gucci, clone Kodak, clone Eminem. He ain't raps his encore. Know that cloning rappers when they overdose to keep.
So yeah, if you think that theory is crazy, it's not crazy. This is the user Christina Bruno 1111 that actually made the video about Britney being Marilyn's clone. And this has been a theory for a very long time, but it is circulating right now and I'm getting tagged a bunch in it. I mean, the comparisons are pretty uncanny, and we have to remember that over time, some of the features do change. So they're not going to also be identical, because that would be really fucking weird if they made an identical Marilyn clone. On Christina's video, she had commented back to someone and said, Alex's theory is different because she thinks that Britney died, but I think that Britney is Marilyn's clone. And I said, it's not different at all, because Marilyn is dead and you think that Britney is her clone. And I just think that the Britney we see today is Britney's own clone. Holy fucking shit. Britney just changed her name on her secret account to Clone 888. What? And she's been giving us a lot of hints. Good things are coming. The choice is yours. Yes, it is. Thank you. I had to tell you guys that, because this is literally, I can't tag her. She doesn't allow tags. But it's Britney Spears, a shark, blah, 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 whatever the fucking last name is. I post her all the time on my fucking story. If you guys aren't keeping up with my stories, keep up with my stories, because I have everything on there. Like, everything is happening so quickly. It's literally about to be done. I'm so fucking excited. Nothing to fear. Please stop messaging me with that you're scared. There's nothing to fear. Only good things ahead. Her other post, which I don't have on here, it says you are pure magic, and she has a heart with an infinity on it, and here she's got a heart with an alien face in the water. Okay, we are done. I'm so excited.